So I'm back with another one, and I thought I'd make this video because I found this pretty interesting. There's a whole beef between Trash Tuesdays and Brendan Schaub. Basically, you know, two of the Trash Tuesday hosts, Kalyla and Annie Letterman, if I'm correct, they accused Brendan of trying to hit on them and basically being a sleazebag. Obviously, Brendan Schaub, Kalyla is Bobby Lee's, longtime girlfriend, and Brendan Schaub and Bobby Lee are supposed to be friends. And Brendan Schaub hit on Kalyla about 7 years ago, and then and the other one was Annie Letterman says that Brendan Schaub tried to get her to walk him to his truck to maybe get a blowjob, which isn't a bad thing inherently, but Brendan Schaub is married, so it just makes him come off as a scumbag, sleazeball type shit, I guess. And he refuted these things, and he really hasn't refuted them till recently. He actually went on the Flagrant 2 podcast. Shout out Andrew Schultz and Akash Singh. They actually got it out of him. They actually confronted him about it, and not confronted him, they questioned him about it, and he was basically left with no chance but to answer. And he basically refuted all the allegations, and yeah, we're gonna hop right into it and see what's up. Basically, the first clip I got here is of Brendan Schaub saying that everything is good between him and Bobby and Kalyla. Everything's been solved, and that he never threatened to sue them. And yeah, let's take a look at what he said.
What's with the Trash Tuesday beef? When are we going to settle the Trash Tuesday beef?
It's settled as far as
Did you try to wog any?
And I ain't gonna lie, this is gonna be pretty long, so I'm gonna let it play and smoke me a little joint.
Letterman to your truck?
No, it doesn't make sense. No, it doesn't make sent. No.
Okay, so then follow up.
Why does it not make sense? Why does that make sense?
It's her perspective, and again,
Perspective.
For it to get back to me, it has to get out of control.
All right, let me just say this. And it's interesting how Akash Singh just repeated the word perspective, because I think Akash doesn't buy it for a second. He's like, how's that perspective? You asked her one thing, insinuating this is pretty much it. Like, her perspective was that he wanted her to walk him to his truck so she could give him head. That was her perspective. And I guess his perspective is, I was asking her to walk me to my truck for the fun of it. I don't think Akash.
Nothing but love for her.
Really?
I have no idea, what her issue is, anything like that. That's fine. That's her narrative, and that's how she feels. All good. I get it.
Yeah.
As far as Kalyla goes, me and her had a long conversation on the phone. Me and her are good, man.
Yeah.
No one's suing anybody.
That's what I needed to ask. That's what I needed to ask.
No. These narratives online, it's.
Yeah, and before I continue playing it, he says that it doesn't make sense. How make it make sense is like, Annie Letterman is a pretty hot girl, pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie, she a dimey. I think she's smoking hot, and she's talented too. So it's like, shit, why wouldn't you hit on her, nigga? Like, I know he's married. He's like, oh, how does it make sense? Because I'm married, but obviously people cheat, and he just made it sound like, oh, how can that be possible? Him doing that? Like, she's a pretty hot girl, man, pretty hot chick. So. That's how it makes sense to me, at least. It doesn't make sense that it makes no sense. But shout out Brendan Schaub. I do watch The Fighter and the Kid. I kind of recently stopped watching King and the Sting just because I feel like they're trying to shove Crystalia down my throat. It's like, I watched King and the Sting for Theo, Brandon, Chin, Nick, and the Culture Corner, whoever's on there. Now you got fucking Crystalia manning the show. It's not the same, but it's my opinion, and I'll keep going.
It's like a fucking soap show. They want this drama. There's no drama. Like, Bobby Lee is one of my closest friends. Me and Bobby talk all. No one's been more supportive when I started than Bobby Lee, dude.
Really?
Besides Rogan and Cal and Dalit, nobody's been more supportive.
Yeah.
So when it comes to Kalyla, I didn't have her number, Bobby. I go, send me your girl's number. So I called her, and we just had a conversation, for over an hour. Me and her are good, man. Dude, when you talk about the secret sauce, Kalyla is the secret sauce of Tiger Belly, of the Trash Tuesday.
She's great, yeah.
She's such a smart fucking girl. No issues. As far as suing goes, I think it's a miscommunication.
Did you see the clip that they put out? It looked like they were very angry.
Yeah.
Again, and I told her, always come to me.
Yeah.
If you want to know, come to me.
Yeah. And they
don't
said that
read-
you had like some dirt on her or something like that.
I have no dirt. I don't know.
So
like,
where-
me and her
they're
don't know each other that well.
They're making this up or what?
Yeah, but when it comes to Kalyla, it's like I don't know. Again, I don't subscribe to social media. So if she's getting that news and she subscribes to it, I would be upset too. And that's why I told her.
See,
I'm like, I get it. So me and her straight up had a conversation. And that's how adults do it, dude.
But see, this is the problem with you being like so detached from anything that happens online is you don't get to correct narratives about you in real time. Like, you know, this is probably the first time you've ever addressed what they said.
Well, who else is going to
You
address
have 14 different platforms. You could just go on and be like, yo, that's wild. That's not true. I'm not saying anything. There's no lawsuit. I called her up and squashed everything's good. Instead of they put it out there and then never address what is out there. And now everybody just believes what has been said by them is real.
Yeah, you could do that, or I can just call Kalyla direct like I did. And
No, it's squashed between you two. But the people that have seen it haven't seen it get squashed. So they just believe that that thing that they've digested is still real.
Sure. And that comes with, celebrity and all that shit. So it's like with that, like, some stuff you don't have to tell the public. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Kalyla are cool. Bobby's one of my closest friends, man.
Yeah.
So it's like with that stuff, and you got to realize when I was coming to comedy, and again, I get all of it. When you have this,
Do you drive a truck?
No.
And let me just say, Brendan Schaub has stated multiple times that him and Bobby are very good friends, or Bobby's one of his very good friends. But we're going to take a look at basically the reply to this podcast, because Bobby and Kalyla went on the H3 podcast, and I thought it was pretty interesting. I thought it was a good one. I haven't watched the H3 podcast in fucking ages, but I watched that one and I thought it was pretty good. So we're gonna see that clip after this, but I'm gonna let Brendan finish his piece.
Yeah.
You don't even drive a truck.
What do you drive?
Hold on. You don't even have a truck?
No, I have a Bronco that I got 8 months ago.
Bronco's a truck,
Oh,
dude.
no, that's 8 months ago.
That's 8 months ago.
So you didn't own a truck before then?
No, I had a truck. No, hold up. I had a truck.
And basically, Brendan says no. He's like, oh, do you have a truck? No. And he's about to explain how he had a truck, basically.
Let's go.
Wait, now,
No, I had a truck, but here's the thing with that.
but did you park in the Comedy Store parking lot, or did you have to walk
they
to
wouldn't let me park
a different
there.
place?
I got rid of it after 2 weeks because I was at the Comedy Store so much. The valet guys they've always been great to me. If you know how the Comedy Store works, unless you're past, you can't park in that lot. Right. I didn't know that. But I would tip them like crazy. That even when I didn't have money, I'd always tip them. But also, any money I made from the Comedy Store, the Improv, the Laugh Factory, I always give to the door guys. I never took the money.
See, this guy's
I
a
always
great
gave them the
guy.
money.
Yeah.
You're a great guy, dude.
Yeah, I guess. So I'd always give them the money. But
That's a fucked up precedent to set, though. Because if I go to the Comedy Store, I ain't trying to.
And I don't know, shout out Brendan Schaub. I ain't trying to be too much of a hater, but I don't know how much of a good guy that it is, or is him greasing the pockets of the people that he knows is gonna be around, so that he could be more accepted in the fucking in the whole circle, the whole comedy circle.
Tip y'all like that.
Yeah.
I'm nice, but not that nice.
So
Come
Indian,
on,
bro.
yo.
It's just different.
It's against my ethnicity, my genetics.
But with the truck, they're like, bro, we can't park this thing. It's too fucking big.
Right.
And I couldn't park in the streets of LA. So I was like, fuck this thing. It was a Raptor lifted, like a monster truck. You can't, in LA, it didn't make sense. So I had it for maybe 2 weeks, so that truck was lit. But also, if you're going to make fun of the way I talk, bro, I say to my special.
It's not me.
But I say in my special.
I love that line.
Yeah, I
don't even speak English that well.
You want me to learn Spanish? Yeah. I barely know English. I struggle with English. Yeah. So I'm not Jordan Peterson. I'm a far cry from it. Yeah. And I know this. I've had a speech impediment my entire life. I have to work on it. Like when I would read teleprompters, when I had that like legit TV show on Showtime, they had me read the teleprompter, and I could see that. And I wanted the guy to be honest, like, hey, dude, we need to work on the way you pronounce words. But he was just like, I think we should use this.
Give you
coach.
a special.
Yeah.
I think we should give you a special.
I think we should give you a special. You stumbled across these words like it's a tough money.
There we go.
So they give me a special. No, which is hilarious. No, so I had to work on it, dude. You know, I had to work on it. So
Really?
for a guy with a speech impediment, and then also I've had it since I was a kid, man. So if they're gonna make fun of the way I talk, you know, my entire business is based off talking.
I thought this was from being punched.
Yeah, me too.
I honestly had no
my
clue that
life
you
would
had a
be
speech
life would
impediment.
be easier if it was CTE. Then I could chalk it
Because
up to
you've
that.
told me about CTE.
I don't have CTE. I
No,
told you I
but you
don't
told
have
you
it.
were worried about it.
Of course. I lost
So-
my keys the other day. I was like, here we go.
It started.
Yo, next time Andy Letterman brings that up, you got to do the Michael Irvin.
You see, Brendan be funny, man. People be hating that he ain't funny, but I be watching his shit, his little fucking podcast. I be saying little, but they're not little. I be watching his podcast. He be having me dying and shit sometimes. His stand-up special, I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't it, but he be funny. I mean, yeah, I feel like he learns to develop that naturalness from the podcast, just on stage, just like, you know, the naturalness. Just his special, it didn't look natural to me. It didn't feel natural at all. It felt too poorly acted, you know. But let's keep going. I might cut the clip off soon and just go to the Bobby and Kalyla one, but let's see a little bit where this goes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you walked me in my truck. CTE. I don't call that.
All right, but that's basically much of that. He said that he never tried to sue them. There was no lawsuit. He says that him and Bobby is good. Him and Kalyla's A1 steak sauce, and yeah, we gonna see. You know, and he said Bobby's one of his best friends, one of his bestest friends, and you know, him and Bobby are very good friends. You know, and Bobby says it. You know, Bobby Lee, he says it like, yeah, like, you know, I supported him basically. He says it like, yeah, I supported him starting, and Bobby Lee still says, I think he's funny and all that, you know. But let's see what's up. We gonna let Bobby and Kalyla speak for themselves basically, and as a rebuttal to that Flagrant 2 podcast. And I'm saying that because Kalyla said that. She says the only reason she came on here to even talk about this is because the Flagrant 2 podcast, they apparently had an agreement. Brendan Schaub and Kalyla had an agreement not to talk about this again. You know, like Brendan said in the last clip, he had a long conversation with Kalyla. But according to Kalyla, included in that conversation was, we not talk about this outside of this conversation, like it's gonna be dropped. And apparently, obviously, he went on Flagrant after that and still spoke, and he was saying and probably lied in Kalyla's eyes, talking about there was never a lawsuit. So he went on there and spoke about it and lied at that. So this is the result of that.
Yeah, even when I tell people, you know, like if people don't know, like back in the day, I didn't know that I did stand up, and they would from work.
Okay.
Like I'd be at a job, and they go, come see my show. I'm okay, and that would just kind of do better than they thought.
Smart.
Yes, that's smart. If I said I'm a beast,
You can't say that.
you can't say. No, there are comics that do
It's
that.
also
I'm a beast.
to me, it's the
name
immediate
someone.
red flag. Like if somebody is like, "Oh yeah, I'm the best," or
Yeah.
speaks like highly of themselves, I'm like, red flag.
Not going.
Something's-
Not funny.
Something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are comics that do that. You want
Name
me to
that.
name?
Yeah, name someone. Brendan Schwab. I'm a beast. Wait, we can't talk about it?
Yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah.
If you
No,
I would love to.
talk about what?
Why don't you want to talk about Brendan Schwab? But you're down.
No. So, Brendan Schaub?
well, here's what I'll say
No,
about
Brendan Schwab.
Schwab?
Schwab.
Oh, Brendan Schwab,
Yeah,
the
Brendan
insurance
Schwab.
salesman. Yeah. Oh, I can talk about him.
I call him a Schwab because he looks like a Schwab. You know, like don't they call those Schwabs in the ear?
Yeah.
swab.
Okay.
You gently do it, but this is on you. This is on you.
Okay, so Brendan,
Here's what I
This
say.
is on you, and that's it.
he's a comedian
Right.
that you have a podcast.
You see how Bobby Lee's like, hey, Kalyla, this is on you. This is on you. Because, you know, they're going to get into it, but this obviously had a big backlash on Bobby Lee. The whole beef between the Trash Tuesday with Kalyla and Brendan Schaub.
With two other very funny ladies called Trash Tuesday.
Right, with Esther Pavitsky and Annie Letterman. Yeah.
Great show.
Thank you.
Love all three of you guys.
My heart's beating because I want to be delicate about this.
100%.
Okay, yes.
You tread lightly.
I will tread lightly.
So you guys were doing a show, and you said that someone you guys knew was trying to pick.
Hold on.
You don't wanna even say.
finish. This is just.
Well, just correct me where I'm wrong.
Well, we don't
Yeah.
need to stress you guys out.
It's going to distress him because. Okay, go ahead, Ethan.
You okay, Bobby?
Yeah.
So you guys said this guy, Brendan Schwab, you alluded to it. You said his initials was BS. Everybody now knows it's him, right?
Well, the first time that we had talked, it was a story about someone who had hit on me 7 years ago. It was a story about but we never said his name during the first show.
You guys were together 7 years ago?
Yes, we've been together 9.
Okay, Playboy. Pound it for that fucking tricolored cock, but man.
When is your 10-year anniversary?
Next year.
Okay. 'Cause ours is coming up. I was like,
Oh.
maybe
In
we're
June, 10 years,
in
married.
October.
Oh, October, wrong month.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Anyway,
Tread lightly.
With no intention other than to just tell a story about
Funny
something
story.
that happened.
interesting.
Just to get a good laugh, something that I thought might
So
be
7 years
relatable.
ago, he tried to pick you up, this comedian.
I told the
comedian.
story on Trash Tuesday, which is like,
He tried to, and the story was interesting. He brought you to the car and tried to get a blowy or something?
No, that's not me. That
was one of the other girls.
Annie, yeah, and
Because it's such an interesting way to pick up a girl, I think. To be like, yo, you want to come to my car and suck my cock?
by the way, I should preface this by saying I had a phone call with him. All is squared away and fine.
Okay.
But he did promise. We promised that this would never be brought up again. But then he went on Flagrant 2 and talked about it. So I was like, all right, deal's off. I'm going to talk about it on H.
Deals off.
Yeah. So, but I'll be delicate about it because I do think that, I don't want to be an asshole to anybody. Yeah.
Right.
But
Are you friends with him? Is that the problem? Are you friends with Brendan?
you're acquaintances.
Yeah. I'm friends with him.
Do you think he's a funny comedian? Because a lot of
I
people.
think he's great.
Okay.
I think he's wonderful. I do. I think
Yeah, he's a good
dynamic.
guy.
I really do.
Dynamic.
You know, can I say something about him? All right. I want to say this. All right. I want to say that.
He tried to fuck your girl,
No,
dude.
I think that. Woo! All right. So
She's short.
Yeah. I like to say this about the man. All right. You know how difficult it is to go from one
Oh my
thing.
God.
What?
You don't have to like.
Do what?
Ride his
Can I
dick.
say what I'm
Yeah.
doing?
You know what? You're being a power bottom right now
You know what?
because you're
I like
riding his
pumping
dick.
up.
Not as an
Wait.
insult.
Yeah. I'll
Back
pump
it
up.
up. Let me just
I'll pump
about
You
that.
tread lightly now.
And for those of you who don't know, Ethan on the H3 podcast, they just got canceled a little bit. Literally lost a few sponsorships. I don't know how many. I said a few. I don't know. They lost one sponsor at least for one show, and because he made some, I guess, some bad gay jokes, and a lot of he's been strong on coming at people that say the wrong shit. So once he said the wrong shit, his fucking fan base came at him crazy, and he lost sponsorship. So that's what right there. He made that little power bottom joke, and his girl's like, "Hey, tread lightly, nigga. You about to fuck with our money again."
I didn't say that as an insult. I literally just said it like because you're riding his dick, only as a reference to what we talked about in the beginning. Please, guys, please just forgive me, okay? This one time. Go ahead.
That's crazy. That's his own fan base. He's like, "Yo, please just let me rock me. I'm sorry, Because like I said, he definitely lost some sponsors for some shit he said. I guess a joke he made. I don't know what it was, but I heard it was like some gay shit, and his fans was not having it.
Okay, so it's very difficult to go from one profession to another, right? So he was an
UFC,
MMA fighter, right? And
Really successful fighter,
very
right?
successful.
What was his professional record?
It's not the record that counts. It's what you do in the ring. You know what I mean? It's commitment.
Right.
Right.
Mate, it takes balls to get in the ring.
Yeah, it does take
Can you guys pull his professional record?
What does it matter?
I'm curious.
yeah. So
I don't think it was that bad.
anyway, so he,
Brendan Schaub's fighting record, it might not have been that bad. I'm not sure, but it's probably not. I don't think it was the worst, but obviously he was not number one. He was never champion or anything, but.
and he goes into a very difficult medium, which is stand-up comedy. It's clicky. It's
Very difficult.
Right.
It's very difficult, and he carves his way out. And he does a couple of specials. He's a successful podcaster, and my hat's off to him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, good. I mean, nice
hat's
things.
off to him.
All,
Yeah.
all good vibes.
We've talked, and everything's under the rug, and everything's fine, and yeah.
Although I would like to clarify. This is not.
Well, you didn't
untrue.
finish your. Well, Bobby has some nice things to say. So I mean,
Right.
you're in the middle of your story.
Well, my problem with the whole thing was when he had a problem with me, he went through Bobby. Bobby was a filter, and I thought that was really not appropriate.
He wouldn't
because-
talk to you.
No.
What is this? You're doing a toothpick?
Nicotine toothpick. I'm stressed out.
Are you serious?
I didn't know they existed.
Can I see that? I'm really interested in
The
this.
company Zipax. We get sponsored.
Because I
by-
chew,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
chew nicotine gum. I'm
You
sorry,
want
I'm
one?
just
No.
so fascinated by
Try
this.
one.
There's no jizz in here? Like,
No.
how clean are your hands and stuff?
You think I touch every single one of those, you fucking asshole?
Well, sometimes, like, I don't know, a guy like Bobby, he just, like, jizzes
No, you
everything
don't love
and then touches stuff.
Yeah, I don't jizz on things, man.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
They're nice, right?
That's a sponsor?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh, watermelon flavor?
It's watermelon spearmint. It's a combination flavor. You know what I mean?
Peppermint.
I don't see it, AB. I was just getting I was getting his professional.
yeah.
AB, where is it? It's not in Discord.
But
Leftovers Discord from yesterday.
Oh.
about what you were starting to say.
Bro,
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to protect Bobby in all of this.
10 and
No,
5? Oh, he was 10 and 5?
protect.
That's not bad.
We're fucked.
We're not fucked.
Yeah,
Wait,
we're
why are you
fucked. We're
fucked?
fucked.
So
We're
what did I
fucked.
say about him?
We're fucked.
Wait, is this, hold on.
Really?
Is that 10 losses or 5?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
so afraid of being bullied.
Why are you so afraid?
Because like, this is the problem. To his defense, when
This is good.
when Schaub had a problem with me never even saying his name, and by the way, I neither confirm or deny that's to this day that story was about him.
Well, you guys said his initials was BS.
And then Annie said it was Bob Saget
Bob Saget.
on the live show.
Well, and then no,
Bob
one of,
Saget BS.
one of the things that really gave it away
Yeah.
is that you guys said that he's not very funny as a comedian, and then you guys all started laughing.
That's subjective.
I disagree.
No, but I know that's like a meme about him. I know you think he's funny.
Yeah.
But there's like a meme that everyone's like,
He's the George Carlin of
He's not funny.
That doesn't
He's not
mean
funny.
that they necessarily said
Right.
that it's him.
So I actually, to this day,
You never
I
said
what
his
I-
name.
I never said
Yeah.
it was assumed. I didn't think that it would escalate in the way that it did. I also didn't realize that Bobby would take the brunt of the punishment because nothing,
He didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
Right.
And here's my problem with just even this in general, okay? And since we're already talking about it, fuck it, right? But what I'm saying to you is that I have nothing to do with any of it. I don't even know what the fuck the thing is about, really. in
You don't
general.
like being put in the
Right.
middle of it.
Not was I not put in the middle of it. I was being screamed at and bullied.
It was
and
like a
threatened.
get
and-
your bitch in line phone.
Yeah.
Oh my
it
God.
it was worse than that. It was way worse than that. And my point is
I'm
that
sorry, that's
now
disgusting.
my
Yeah.
fear is the results of whatever this is now going to be.
There's
Right.
no results because
There is a result.
No, there
You know,
isn't.
you-
I can call Schaub right now, and we could be like, all is squared away and everything is fine because we've already talked about it. The promise was that he would never talk about it again, and the next day he went on flagrant 2 and then talked about it, even though it was in a complimentary way.
Yeah, in a complimentary way. So
I
my
don't
point
feel
is
like we've
that-
said anything bad about him either. The point is, was there a
Ethan definitely made a couple jokes, but that's not that was not Kalyla and Bobby.
text alluding to possibly suing people? Yes, there was. Did it freak me out and did it make me think, oh shit, like such a small thing to sue over? But was there a lot of misunderstanding from his team and us? Yeah, but we talked it through. But the truth is the truth, and it's all squared away.
So, you guys, I'm just going to get this clear. So you guys were talking about there was this comedian that people assumed was him
Yeah.
that was trying to pick up all you girls, kind of a sleaze, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So he calls you and says, Bobby, get your woman in line. I mean, what kind of fucking animal does that? That's fucked up. Why didn't he call you? He has your number, right? I would assume.
It was
Or just
your
had to contact
podcast.
you.
Yeah.
It's your fucking podcast. Who the fuck? Why? What the fuck is that shit?
It was not just him.
There was a whole barrage.
It was.
Don't say the name.
I'm not gonna. But it was a phone call with other podcasters, and it was.
That's some bullshit.
They flogged you, bro.
Not flogged me. They threatened my career. They called me a coward, a pussy. You've always been a pussy.
I'm sorry,
What?
that's
Yeah,
unacceptable.
and
Blackmail.
they said they would expose me. They said that all these things, and I was in Oklahoma shooting a show, and I was at dinner, and I was by myself, and I was getting. It was very traumatic for me, and it was based on whatever they did on the live. Now imagine what's going to happen with now this.
It's good you said that.
I think it's good that you're saying that
Because
because
fuck them.
You
should
shouldn't-
stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
But I
That's
see
so
these
fucked
guys
up.
every time, all the time.
But
you
to
know what I
be
mean?
But
clear,
they did it. They took
this
it there.
behavior is
How you-
unacceptable.
But
Totally.
to be
That is
clear,
That's fucked up.
when that happened, he called me like shell shocked and crying. At which point I said, "Give
I
me
wasn't
his
crying.
number."
Come on, I'm a man.
Poor Bobby.
Yeah.
That's
Hey,
fucked up.
Bobby, you're
But
the
he-
best man, the man that has feelings. Like, what the,
No,
what the
it's
fuck
true.
are we
And also,
talking
when
about?
he's like being spoken
You
to,
think she wants somebody?
Say that again for the
can't
people
feel
in
anything?
back. Say that again for the people in
Go
back.
ahead.
We love men that can cry.
Bottom.
so to be clear,
This story
that was
is infuriating.
the height of the chaos was when that happened. At which point I said,
I'm so sorry, dude.
Yeah.
That's so
Yeah.
fucked up.
Well, to both of you, also not
Yeah.
having like the balls to talk to you. He has the balls to go and fight people, but like, why does he gotta
Right.
go?
Did
talk
you even
to
know what was going on when he
Go
called
talk
you?
No,
to your
I-
man.
You're like, what are you guys talking about?
he didn't know what it was happening.
I don't. Number one, I don't. They were okay. First of all, they were like, we have evidence of something, right? So they go, we have 50 pages of
No, they said 300 pages.
whatever of evidence.
Dude, Brendan Schaub can't even read, bro. How the fuck that guy bringing 300 pages of anything? That guy's barely literate. Are you kidding me?
Well, this is where I think that there's a disconnect between
Dude,
there's a disconnect between the information he's being fed by his team. I don't think it's all him. Like he's just like, I have 300 pages of proof that of an IP address let's link to
Oh,
Bobby's.
please.
Listen to this, Ethan.
What a
Link to
fucking
Bobby's
liar.
computer. I was like, do you realize how tech stupid Bobby
Thank
is?
you.
He answers phone calls on his iPad. Do you know what I mean?
my man.
Saying that, and basically that we've launched an attack on him for the past 5-6 years. And I told Brendan, I was like, Brendan, with all due respect, like you're not an afterthought for us. Like, why would we as a company just dedicate 5-6 years to this harassment on Reddit when my sweet lover?
Oh, because a lot of people hate Brendan. There's like a whole like movement.
So yeah, he's trying to.
He blames
tie
that on
it-
you guys?
Yes, and so now we're at a point where it's like, well,
He says that he has proof that me, for the last 5 or 6 years, that I've been on Reddit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I gotta say-
Go ahead, go ahead.
I'm gonna
Let's
tell
say
you.
go, go, go,
I'll tell
go,
you.
go.
Let
Yeah.
me finish. That I
Everybody
was on-
breathe.
I've been spending my time. First of all, number one, I don't own a computer. I don't even know how to buy one, really. You know what I mean?
he really does.
All right. Number two, right? I don't know how to get on Reddit. I've asked her, how do you get on it? What is it? You know what I mean?
Right, right.
I'm just not.
I just got on Reddit for the first time, and I still don't get. I got on Reddit for the first time like a few days ago, and coincidentally, it was for the Spider and the Kid subreddit. Just because I heard some references to it, and I'm like, oh, let me go check it out, see what the fuck it is. And it was just a whole bunch of. It's like a bunch of posts, and I tried to post a link to one of my videos to my Brendan Schaub. Did he steal a joke from Kenan Thompson video? If y'all could go check that out, that'd be dope. But somebody made a reference to the subreddit on that, so I fucking went to check it out, and maybe literally like a day or two ago, and fucking yeah, I tried to post something on there, like post the link to the video, and that shit was like, oh, you can't post because you're too new of a user, and I did like 10 posts. All them shits got deleted because I don't know. So I don't get Reddit. Fuck Reddit. Not fuck Reddit, but I don't get that shit. I ain't gonna lie either. I'm with Bobby.
Tech savvy in that way. It's shameful to say, but
It's not shameful. You're what are you, like 50, 60?
He's 50.
Yeah.
So
You are the best looking 50-year-old,
Yes.
by the way.
Thank you.
You are so youthful and your skin is so soft.
Right.
Go ahead.
So he was going, you're doing this. We can trace the URL back to your house, and you're the leader of this Reddit group. I'm like, bro, first of all, if you look at, from what I hear, if you look at Reddit, there are pages about me as well. And me
And
that are
horrible ones
destroying
about
me, so
me.
I don't read it.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
As someone who's been in technology my whole life,
Yeah.
people that don't know fucking anything about technology say that shit.
Yeah.
But I think
It's
it's
impossible to get that.
right.
He doesn't have it.
When
it's
anybody
impossible to
says
get
they
it.
have
But I think
proof against you,
But Ethan,
Bullshit.
I think that I'll defend him in this scenario by saying I think his team is giving him a lot of wrong information.
Well, whatever.
And that's ultimately what
Yeah.
him
Yeah, Nick was out there trying to be a hacker, trying to find Bobby's IP address and shit.
and I were able to find common ground. It's like, look, I think I'm receiving wrong information, and I'm like, I can understand that. I can forgive
He's
that.
just trying to scare you. Dan, is it? Oh, Dan is our tech wizard. He's walking with a bag of chips, Dan, for Christ's sake.
What's up?
Is it possible to get IP logs from Reddit that proves that Bobby is posting shit about Brendan?
Not
Schaub?
without like working at Reddit. I mean, yeah.
Or having like
administrator
a
or
federal
something.
subpoena.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was
I
saying.
actually think we should. I could call him right now and get clarification.
No, do not call him right now. That's
Wait,
the
we're
dumbest thing
okay.
to
Him
do.
and I are okay now.
I doubt it.
I'm going to say this.
No.
After this,
No.
you will not be okay.
I agree with that.
I promise you this, and this has opened. No, I'm not fine. I'm fine, or I'm totally fine. Totally fine. But I'm just saying
That
this has
like a-
opened up a world. I'm not a pussy, right? I'm just saying. The thing is that you guys don't do stand up, right?
No.
Right. So I'm always around them.
Yeah.
Right. I always have. So I'm trying to play it politically, right? I feel like I was assaulted for something that I didn't do at all. I don't even know what the
Wait,
fuck they're talking
you
about.
truly have nothing to do with it.
I have nothing to do with, and yet I was being, you know what I mean?
They put it all on
attacked,
you.
right?
Because they're using you to try to control what
Right.
Kalyla's doing.
Right. So, I went to therapy and about it. You know what I mean? I
Really?
talked about it yesterday because it's like it was just so traumatic, and these were my friends, and I had no idea what the fuck they were talking about, right?
Wow.
And so my whole thing was, let's never talk about it again, ever, right? And let's just brush it under the rug so that I can go to comedy.
See, Bobby he said, these are my friends. So he was referring to them as friends at some point.
Clubs and look them in the eye and be cordial, right? But now, right, this is a whole nother fucking thing that I got to deal with now.
Yeah, I
You know
see.
what I mean?
I see your point.
Yeah.
It just sucks
They're
because
bullies.
they are.
yeah, it sounds like they're trying to bully you, and it sucks that you're in this position now.
Yeah.
Where you have to. It's like a boy. It sounds like some bullshit boys club, where it's like let's be honest, dude. A lot of these fucking guys have accusations against them, and it's a fucking boys club, and they're all protecting each other. And I'm not saying that one did one did
have no
one.
idea what you're talking about.
Okay, fine. I'm not saying anyone did anything specifically,
Yeah.
but it's like, hey, your girl's out of line. You know, you got to protect the boys, and it's fucked up. It's bowling bullshit, dude.
Yeah, and on Flagrant 2, Andrew Schultz's podcast, he was like, I contacted Kalyla. And I'm like, no, I asked Bobby for your new number, and I
No,
reached
he
out to
wanted
you.
both. He wanted to talk to you. So,
Oh, okay. Then it was both
all right. So
ways.
that's a two-way street. All right, let's be real. All right, he
But
wanted.
I don't like the narrative that he came to me with this, because it took months or like 2 months before he even wanted to come directly
Yeah.
to the source. And I would have been, if he saw the first podcast on Trash Tuesday and said, hey, I really didn't like what you said. It
Right.
could have alluded to me. That's not good for me. And then I would have said, I understand that. I didn't realize that you would be getting extra harassment from all
Right,
of this.
right,
I
right.
apologize. I will
Right.
not say it again. It's also not a cancelable offense to hit on a woman. It's not a big deal. It
No.
was an anecdote.
Yeah,
And
totally.
it could have been resolved right then and there. And I did tell him that when I spoke to him a week ago. I said, this was a very, very simple thing. So from here on out, moving forward, let's shake on it. If you have a problem with something I say, come to me directly. And he said the same thing. So we're good. We're good. I promise you we're okay.
I promise you we're not.
No.
I promise you're not. And I promise you there's a wave coming now, and that's it.
Unfortunately, I agree with Bobby just because I don't think they're going to be happy that it's out there that they're fucking bullying Bobby.
Yes, I definitely agree with Bobby a little bit. And Ethan, I think this is going to... Oh, sorry about that audio, guys. There you go. Yeah, I think this is definitely going to affect Bobby in his comedy career. Not as far as like affecting his career of him getting work, but he's definitely gonna have to deal with like Brendan and that whole little team trying to probably come at him personally because of this podcast, which is pretty unfair because they did involve him in something that didn't have to do with him. Like he said, you know, he didn't even know the things that fucking. And I believe it. This nigga Bobby's 50. He's on Sex and the City. He's an actor. He does comedy. He's not fucking. He has a successful podcast, but I doubt he's, you know, even looking at all these podcasts like I am or something, like anybody. Like he's probably a little bit too busy to keep up with what his girlfriend's doing on her podcast type shit. You know, it's his girl. He lives with her. He's gonna chop it up with her at the crib. So I believe that he didn't know, and I believe that they involved him in something that didn't really have to. It had to do with him because it's his girl, it's his lady, but they involved him in some shit that really wasn't his fault at all. So, and now, you know, he speaks his piece on here, and I'm sure they're gonna feel a type of way about it and probably give him a hard time, which I don't think is fair. You know, I think this should just leave it be like, all right, you know, Bobby has the right to go out and say what he said because, you know, it's his perspective and it's his truth. Probably the truth. It doesn't sound like Bobby's lying. You know, he says they accosted him and they talk shit. They threatened him, his career, threatened with exposing some shit. You know, that ain't cool. That's Bobby. You know, even if it's like as far as like a tenure thing, it's like that's Bobby Lee, and you're Brendan Schaub. Nigga, Bobby Lee got seniority over you. But like then people like, let's say Brian Callen, that should definitely respect Bobby Lee as a comedian more, is going to, you know, obviously be on Brendan's side because Brendan fucking, you know, kept the whole fighter and the kid ship going while Brian was going through those rape allegations or whatever. But yeah, let's continue on. This is a long one, so let it play more.
These are elements that I was never going to share. These are elements that I was going to just keep to
But
myself.
is that okay? Like,
It's not okay.
Should-
But you got to live your life.
yeah, you gotta live your life.
No, it's okay with me because I'm doing. First of all, number one, would I say that they're friends of mine anymore? No, they're
Yeah.
out. Right,
Yeah.
I stopped following them on social media.
Okay.
Right, and I did what I'm doing to protect myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what they did was not what a friend would do.
But
right?
he did apologize to you, Bobby. Brendan did.
Yeah, he did apologize. But what I'm saying is that the world didn't know what had happened.
Right.
Right? And so it's like, you know, those are the elements that I was going to just kind of go, you know, let's brush that to the side, right? I had my own way of processing it and dealing with it politically because I do stand-up every night, and I'm just around. Now, you know, I have to now pick and choose where I go up, right? I do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to go.
I get it.
cannot go there that night because now they're there, right? And it just this has made it very difficult for me. You know, and
It sucks. I'm sorry.
yeah, it's
not
all right. I
fair.
mean, you know, it's out there, and that's why I wish you didn't do a live podcast. yeah. You know, yeah.
I like to believe that this is.
I better get a lot of Teddy Fresh shit. I mean,
Bro, I've got
I don't
got
like
the bulldozer
idea.
for forever.
every color, every fit.
Forever.
You got it. But I don't like the idea of because of this now your life's gonna be worse. I don't know. We've always lived under like not letting anyone bully us, and I don't think you should tolerate that behavior. And if it means that you're gonna have to not perform on the same night as them, maybe it's going to be better for you though, because you don't have to carry this
Pretend like you
and
fucking-
pretend that you're
yeah.
like part of this group, this men's group, that everything is good there.
The problem
Nobody's
is there
bullying
are a couple
everybody.
of weddings that I'm going to, right?
Who
How
cares?
many times you go to weddings where you hate the other people there?
cares?
You go, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
I stay on this side, you stay on that
yeah.
side.
They're the ones that need to show up and be ashamed of themselves. Bottom line.
I understand that.
They
I
need to
understand
look
that. I
down.
was just doing
You
it
can
the
look
most
up.
political way
Right,
know.
Hila.
that I could do so that I
I know.
could survive. You
I
know
know,
what I
I'm
mean?
but
sorry,
I'm
man.
trying to see
And,
maybe the positive side in it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
There
know.
is no positive.
No. Uh-huh.
But you know what? I'm going to tackle it head on. You know what I mean? I mean, that's the only way now to go forward, you know? But
I think, yeah. I mean, just to say what, I think it's good that people know what happened because it's just not right. I think it's good for the audience to know that these guys are fucking pack of rats, dude.
what do you mean?
They're a pack of rats, bro. These guys are your friends, and they gang up on you, bully you because something that your girlfriend said, because Kalyla said had nothing to do with it. The guys are fucking clowns, though, bro. They're meatheads, dude. Brendan Schaub been punched in the head too many fucking times.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, is there a question? Does he have what Junior Seau has? The CT?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean?
But I know it's not good to get punched in the head.
It's not good to be punched in the head. Yeah, but yeah, go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
I don't know if this is the right time to like.
I think it's a time to
Say-
just put it all on the table. I don't think there's
Go ahead, babe.
When I do talk to him, I feel like he is a guy who's like hurting a lot, and he really loves his family, and you know he feels he feels horrible when his kids are being talked about a certain way, when his wife is being talked about a certain way. So I understand like his pain and his feeling like he's on he heels, like he has to defend.
Who was talking
certain
about his
things.
family?
I think that the Reddit
Oh,
very
yeah,
harsh on
dude,
him.
Reddit
Yeah.
is It's Reddit. That's
mean,
what I'm saying.
Reddit talks
They're
about
mean to
everybody.
every.
Yeah.
They'll
That's just the
fucking
internet.
ruin you if you go and read what they're saying. I mean, Reddit is a fucking vile place where they say horrible things about everybody.
Yeah, and that's what I told him. It's like, Shab, whatever you're getting, I get.
Everybody gets
People-
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody gets it.
But I do think that he's somebody who, I don't know. I have empathy for him. I
I
really
mean, that's
do.
horrible, obviously, to go after people's family. That's disgusting.
Yeah, the comedy culture for me since I moved there in the late '90s has always been bullying.
Really?
Yeah, there's always been like yeah. I mean,
What the hell?
I never expected to hear that. No, I'm serious.
I really didn't.
I'm
Yeah,
surprised by that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
laugh because it seems obvious to you?
Yeah, to me that it seems is obvious. Especially in certain clubs, it's always been a boys' club. I mean, there were boys. I can't name names. That
Don't.
would
Yeah,
literally
don't.
walk up to Whitney Cummings and Chelsea Handler and go, "Women aren't funny. Get out of here."
Are you fucking kidding
Yeah,
me?
and they would say that to
Wow.
them, right? One time a comic threw ice at Natasha Leggero's face. You know what I mean? Like, get out of here. You know what I mean? Like
Wow.
that type of mentality. I've always used women as openers because I always loved them. I've always been friends with female comics. I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but they've also said stuff like that Asians aren't funny back in the day.
Oh, well, that.
Asians don't do stand-up because they're not funny. They're not a funny people, this and that. But all those things are things for me to persevere. But because I'm a guy from trauma and, my dad was so violent growing up, right? I've always had this thing of like, I'll show you, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to prove you wrong, and I feel like I have done that, you know what I mean? That Asians are funny. We're funnier than you are, you know what I mean? I can get as many laughs as any other comic.
When I went and saw you,
Yeah.
I saw a few you crushed harder than anyone. People were electric for you.
Yeah, so I know that ability, but because of the culture at the time, right, of bullying, right, I just felt like that was just a part of the nature of the sport.
Wow.
And I endured it,
Wow.
And because of what happened a week ago, whatever, when I was bullied by these guys, right? To me, it's like the same mentality. It's like, I'm just gonna, process it, deal with it in my own way, and just find a perspective.
Yeah.
And my relationship with certain people now have completely changed. It'll never go back the same, because at the end of the day, like I know what I've done and what I haven't done in my life. All right. I do, right? Right? you know, when people accuse me of certain things, there are some things like, yeah, I did that. You know what I mean? And there's a couple of things that I've done that one day I would like to talk about on podcasts that are like, that I've done to specific comics that are like not cool. You know what I mean? And I know that I did those things, and I feel guilty and shame over it, right? But the things that they were saying last week, they came from such left field, right? That like I was the mastermind, you know what I mean, behind this Reddit group that was after, you know what I mean, Brendan Schaub. Why would I do that? I legitimate, and this is even
honestly, if you saw Bobby type on a laptop, he's typewriter fingers. He does this.
Yeah, I do that, right? I have to.
He has 2 fingers.
Yeah,
but that should tell you something about their mentality, that they had this working theory about you even before this happened, that you're somehow trying to destroy him.
Yeah.
Like, does he really?
I also would uplift him and his crew and the people around him.
Dare I say you've probably been one of the most supportive people, like when he did first start doing stand-up.
Yeah, I have.
He said that. I remember I saw a clip. He said that Bobby was really, that you were really
and
supportive of him.
And I'm still supportive of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that he's funny. I really legitimately do.
The only one.
You know what I mean? There have been people like, there's a lot of comics that go, you know, actors that do stand-up later in life, right? We don't support it. I support it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that Jeremy Piven is funny. You know, when Steve O started doing stand-up, me and Ian Edwards went to his house and we looked at his special and we gave him notes and this and that, right? I mean, I'm that type of a guy, right? But it's like, that's why when they did that, it was like, whoa, I'm an ally. What the fuck are you doing?
Right.
And, you know, that was based on something I didn't do. Now, because of this, I'm just curious to see what happens. You know, that's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel you.
I better get every color of Teddy Fresh beanies.
Every day.
I mean, every
Every
time.
Wait, me too, Kay.
Yeah, you guys.
No, not you. I want to box.
Are you
with
guys
me.
gonna argue after the podcast? Are you angry that this got here?
I think
No.
I've told Bobby, it's like, I will work out whatever I need to work out for myself and set my own boundaries for myself. If that,
That's the way it should be, but
irrespective,
unfortunately, these guys.
But I do feel bad for him because I think he gets, like I said, the brunt of it all. But I'll probably call Schaub after this and say, hey, this is what was said. And like, you know, I'm going to stick to the promise of going directly to him if I have.
But it's true. What's so wrong about saying, oh,
That'll be a funny phone call to record. I know she won't do that because that basically be violation. You know, you record the phone call, put it out. But I know it'd probably be funny as fuck.
hit on me? It's like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, let me shut the fuck up.
It wasn't.
Doesn't seem that bad. I mean, not worse than, you know, other things have been said about other comedians.
Right.
Well, you know, it's like, that's a very interesting point, Ethan. You know, it's like, what am I running away from? It's like, you know, we all have to look at our behaviors and what we did and we didn't do, right? And own up to them, you know. Like I said before, it's like, you know, I think it was Socrates or Plato that said, a life not self-examined is a life not worth living. You know what I mean? I think throughout, you know, the modern day, we've always been introspective and to look at your character defects and your behaviors and own up to these things, you know what I mean? And I think that's the healthiest thing to do. But unfortunately, we don't live in a healthy, you know, podcasting and stand-up. There's just so much at stake, you know what I mean? You also have fans against other fans. I mean, there are fans that will only strictly listen to whatever they're doing, and vice versa, Tiger Belly fans. And, you know, I think our fans bleed over, which is cool. I think we're very like-minded, you know what I mean? But, you know, when there's so much at stake and you have the internet involved, you know, it gets really muddled and toxic.
Yes.
You know, and I don't like the toxicity of it all. You know what I mean? All I'm trying to do is make people laugh. You know, all I'm trying to do is perform, and I like acting too, so I act and I do all these things because these are things that I enjoy, and I think people enjoy me for the most part doing watching me. You know what I mean? So You know, when all this now, when all these other elements are involved, it really makes me sad.
Yeah.
And it makes me uncomfortable, and it's just unfucking unfortunate. You know what I mean? Because I just don't understand why we all can't just, you know, grow together.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Wouldn't it be so much classier if he was like, you know, I was a sleaze and I did that and that was gross, and then people would respect him, right, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this meme here? Maybe you guys will get this. Alter ego in the Bob cave.
I don't know what that means.
Does this make sense to you guys?
No.
Oh, this isn't a meme. This appears to be, we've obtained some of the evidence.
Okay.
Oh, this is you masterminding
This is
the Brendan Schaub hate on Reddit.
What do you have to say about
Is
this?
that me?
Yeah.
So you pretend not to use
You're
computers,
pretending you don't know what
but
you're
you
doing.
actually have a
Wait.
Batman
How
cave.
did you come up with that right
I
now?
just found it.
This
Alter
is
ego
security
in the Bob
footage.
cave.
Kalyla
Somebody just
sent us
DM'd it to
before
me.
the show.
That's
Gullible. He
insane.
really thinks he found it on the internet on Google.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
You have an underground layer with fucking 20 monitors
Yeah.
mass posting Brendan Schaub hate.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I spend 12 hours a day playing Stardew Valley.
You still play that?
I just started playing because of the 1.5. I have to do all the stuff on.
Oh,
Ginger
shit.
Island.
That's crazy.
And it's so hard because it's like there's this one thing where you have to just switch topics. You know, it's something I want to talk about.
All right, so I'm gonna end it there. The clips, and I know that was a pretty goddamn long one. This almost like an hour, but that was like a 2-hour podcast. And yeah, you know, Bobby Lee and Kalyla said a lot right there. You know, they obviously what was said about Brendan Schaub and walking Andy Letterman to the truck was obviously on the Trash Tuesday podcast. Bobby Lee is not on that podcast, but Kalyla is. And Kalyla was not even the one that said the "walk me to my truck" thing. It was, I think, Annie Letterman, or the other host. I don't know. Yeah, I think it was Annie Letterman, and I don't know what backlash I think she got some lawsuit threats too, because there's a video clip out there of them talking about it. Like if in the flagrant clip that I played. Andrew referenced it. He was like, "Oh, they put out a pretty angry video." So in that angry video, Annie Letterman was saying she also got some threats, some lawsuit threats. But Brendan, what do y'all think? Tell me in the comments below. Do you think Brendan Schaub actually threatened Annie Letterman, Kalyla, and Bobby with lawsuits? Do you think Brendan Schaub and his friends, his cohorts, maybe Brian Callen, maybe Chappelle? Who knows? I doubt it. Chappelle seems like a nice guy from from watching the shows and all that, but fucking, do you think they try to intimidate Bobby to getting his girlfriend and her friends to stop saying shit about Brendan? Or do you think it was Nick from the fucking, the producer of The King and the Sting? If he's the one that found the information, the hacker that found the information about Bobby Lee's IP address, the 300 pages, Well, like I said, Brendan Schaub said that he never threatened nobody with lawsuit. There was never a lawsuit. There was a misunderstanding. Kalyla says there was obviously lawsuits and threats, and Andy Letterman says the same. And I don't know. I just want to know what you, the people, think. You think Brendan, I don't know. I'm a fan of both, I watched The Fighter and the Kid. I used to watch King and the Sting. I really just watched I watched The Fighter and the Kid, and then I watch Bad Friends, with Bobby Lee and all that. So I fuck with both of them. Those are really those are the last two podcasts that I watch, And before that, I think I watched Theo Vaughn with Shane Gillis, and I haven't watched this past weekend Theo Vaughn's podcast in maybe like more than 5-6 months, and it came on like randomly on the fucking autoplay, and it was pretty good. I was not mad at it and shit, but yeah, I fuck with Brendan Schaub. I like the little Fighter in the Kid podcast. It has been a little dry recently. I ain't gonna lie. It's been getting a little stale sometimes. Like I fell off of a bunch of podcasts, but that was like the last one I'm still watching, and Bad Friends sometimes. So I don't got nothing against Brendan Schaub. I don't got nothing against Bobby Lee. I just think it was interesting because like from the outside looking in, Brendan Schaub is always just trying to make it seem like he's a good guy all the time, which is like understandable. You're trying to keep a good, wholesome, I guess, look out here. A family guy, just doing you know, doing comedy and doing podcasting, you know, and you know, you take care of your family, you don't go out type shit. You trying to keep that perspective that. But then when it comes to light, that's not the case. It is a little interesting, and not saying, you know, like I said, I watch his podcast. It's not like, oh, just because, you know, he's not a family guy or some shit. Like he's out there, you know, trying to fuck bitches or some shit. Like, oh, I ain't gonna watch his podcast or some weird shit. You know, I watch it. I watch it anyways. But it is interesting that fucking, you know, he puts it out there like, you know, no, there was never no lawsuit. You know, we had a talk and it's all good. And then he also like, well, you know, it doesn't make sense about me asking Annie Letterman to walk me to my truck. It's like, how does that makes perfect, like, it makes perfect sense. So it's like, his rebuttal to that, like, oh, it makes no sense. That's her perspective. It's like, nigga, it makes all the sense, and fucking, it's a fucking pretty, it's like honestly, I don't know. Like, why the fuck anybody gonna walk you to your motherfucking truck? You're a grown ass UFC fighting ass motherfucker. You know, you asking this chick to walk you to your truck, and she bad. It's not like she ugly as hell, so she gonna scare people away, scare away the muggers. You know, she fucking Annie Letterman's pretty damn bad. I ain't gonna lie. I fucking watch the podcast sometimes just to fucking, you know, watch them talk shit, because they all bad and shit. Annie Letterman, Kalyla, and something Schwartz. I forgot the other girl's name. She's dope though. She's a good actor. She's cute. She's fire. Fucking. So yeah, I don't know. Tell me in the comments below. What do y'all think? I'm rambling now, so I don't know. What y'all think? I think Brendan's being honest. You think Kalyla and Bobby are being honest? You think Bobby got bullied? You think they try to intimidate him with lawsuits? Tell me in the comments below. And if you like the video, yeah, just like, subscribe, and comment below. You know, tell me, recommend me any videos y'all want to see me react to, any videos, any pranks y'all want to see me do. I'm trying to, you know, get the public consensus, which will be the dope ones to do for that y'all want to see, and I'll do them. And yeah, I'm gonna catch you on the next video. Peace.